The gunshot echoed through the quiet suburban street, a sharp, soul-tearing crack that shattered the stillness of the afternoon. For a moment, time seemed to stop. The sound of birds fled into the sky. Tires screeched somewhere in the distance, and a faint, terrified scream cut through the chaos. Then came silence, a silence so heavy it seemed to crush the air itself. And in the middle of the crosswalk, a little girl in a pale blue dress clung to a German shepherd, her small hands trembling as she felt the warm, sticky blood beneath her fingers. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the unbreakable loyalty between humans and animals, please take a moment to like this video. Comment your thoughts, share it with others, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Every story we tell here honors the silent heroes who walk among us on four paws. Her name was Lily. She was 7 years old, blind since birth, and full of a light that could brighten any room. Her laughter, they said, had the strange power to make people forget their worries. She lived with her father, Daniel, a local police officer who had lost his wife 2 years earlier in a car accident. Life hadn't been easy for them, but they found strength in each other. Still, Daniel often worried about Lily's safety. He couldn't be with her every moment, and the world wasn't always kind or careful with those who couldn't see. That's when Archer came into their lives. Archer was a retired canine from the police force, a large, calm German shepherd with intelligent eyes and a past filled with service and scars. He had been trained for dangerous missions, but was now part of the department's visitor program, where retired dogs were given to families in need of companionship and support. When Daniel first brought him home, Lily was hesitant. She had never been around a big dog before. But Archer approached her gently, pressing his nose into her tiny hand and standing perfectly still, as if to say, "You can trust me." From that day on, they were inseparable. Archer became Lily's world, her guide, her protector, her silent friend who never left her side. Together, they walked to the park, listened to music, and sat by the window counting the cars that passed by. Lily by sound, Archer by sight. Neighbors would often see them crossing the street hand in paw, an image that melted hearts and reminded people that love can speak without words. But life has a cruel way of testing the purest bonds. It was a late afternoon in early September when it happened. The sky glowed orange, the air still heavy with the warmth of summer. Daniel had to step away for a short call from the station, so he let Lily and Archer go for their usual walk down the quiet lane that led to the park. Archer knew every sound, every corner of the street, and never once had he failed to bring Lily home safely. But that day, fate had something else in store. A man was running, desperate, reckless, chased by police sirens. He had robbed a nearby store and was darting through the streets, clutching a gun in trembling hands. As he turned the corner, he saw Lily standing at the crosswalk, waiting to cross with her white cane tapping the asphalt. He panicked, his breath short and wild. And then someone shouted, "Drop the weapon!" In that split second, chaos erupted. The man turned, aimed blindly, and fired. What happened next would forever be etched in the memory of everyone who witnessed it. Archer lunged forward with lightning speed, knocking Lily to the ground and shielding her with his own body. The bullet struck him in the side, tearing through fur and flesh before embedding deep inside. The sound of sirens grew louder, people screamed, and officers rushed in. But in that frozen moment, all Lily could feel was Archer's body trembling against hers, and the warmth of his breath fading with every second. When Daniel arrived, his heart nearly stopped. He ran to them, his knees hitting the ground beside his daughter and her wounded protector. Archer's eyes flickered weakly as if to say, "She's safe, don't worry." The paramedics rushed Lily to safety while others tried to stabilize Archer. For hours, veterinarians fought to save him. The bullet had missed his heart by inches, but the internal bleeding was severe. Daniel stayed by his side, whispering words of gratitude and pleading prayers that Archer might hold on. The next morning, news of the incident spread through the entire city. The story of the retired canine who took a bullet to save a blind girl touched every heart. Flowers, letters, and stuffed animals began piling up outside the veterinary hospital. Children drew pictures of Archer with hearts on his fur. The city's mayor called him a hero. Police officers stood in silent salute outside the hospital doors. For once, the noise of the world stopped to listen, to feel, to care. For 3 days, Archer fought for his life. Lily, still recovering, refused to rest until she could see him again. She couldn't see his wounds, but she could feel his heartbeat when she was finally allowed to sit beside him. Her small hands rested gently on his fur, and she whispered, "You saved me, Archer. Now please don't go." Her tears soaked his coat, and for a moment Archer's tail gave the faintest wag. It was enough to make the doctors believe he could make it. And then, miraculously, he did. It took months of treatment, care, and rehabilitation, but Archer's spirit never broke. Lily's father said it was her voice that kept him alive, the way she sang to him every night, telling him stories of their walks and dreams of brighter days. Slowly, Archer began to walk again. The scars on his side remained, but so did his strength. When Archer finally returned home, the city held a small ceremony in his honor. Streets were lined with people holding banners that read, "Thank you, Archer and our hero." The police department presented him with a medal of bravery, and Lily, dressed once again in her blue dress, stood beside him, holding his leash with pride. As the crowd applauded, she reached down, wrapped her arms around his neck and whispered softly, "You're my eyes, Archer, and my heart." What happened after that was even more beautiful. Inspired by Archer's courage, the community started a foundation to support retired service dogs and children with disabilities. They named it Archer's Promise. Within months, it helped dozens of families connect with trained therapy dogs, giving comfort to those who needed it most. Lily often spoke at those gatherings, telling everyone that love and loyalty could change the world because it had already changed hers. And every time Archer walked with her through the park, people would stop and smile. They saw not just a little girl and her dog, but living proof that heroes come in all forms, and that sometimes the bravest hearts beat beneath fur. If this story touched your heart, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Pawsitive Tales. Every view helps us share more stories of courage, love, and the extraordinary bonds that make life beautiful. Special request: in the comments, tell us, what's one act of kindness from an animal that you'll never forget? Your story might inspire someone else to believe in love again.